Hi, I'm Nick. Uh, Welcome to the Fusion Space. Not many people know, but I made a video for Joker 1. Thomas Wayne is the Joker's real father, and here's why. Had an early success. It convinced me to keep going with the channel back when I didn't have a computer. I just had the phone and my thoughts to make videos with. So this is kind of a callback to that. I'm not going to start doing reviews on the regular. This is just a Joker success story. And I was really actually emotionally quite moved by Joker Folie, and people are misunderstanding a lot of things about it. So I've got some notes here, and I'm just going to break down the most basic structure. I think people why it is a genuine artistic product, a good fulfilling sequel to the original, and it is a Faust metaphor at its core, by way of the Band Wagon, the 1953 musical that they're watching in the movie that That's Entertainment is from, which ties together both that show and this one. There's a lot of I actually have I'll probably put this up on the screen in some fashion. I have these different levels of like, here's Joker Folie here's the bandwagon, and here's the Faust story, and how different things relate, mirroring plot structure elements. Somebody who knows musicals really needs to do a full deep dive analysis. Someone who does this as what they do. I voice act comics for my channel, and this just happens to be something important to me. And I think not many people can relate to the Joker unless you were a crazy loner who had a girl way out of your league, come and like awaken the heart inside you and all that. That was basically my first love when I was 13. I don't want to get into it, but I related on a deep and personal level to the love story in this. And so the music really affected me in that sense. And I think a lot of people are missing that angle of it. Romance isn't really selling well these days to begin with, and this is an odd romance to try and sell. But you have to buy into Arthur as a character. If you liked the first movie, you liked Arthur as a character, and the fact that he became Joker, then you can like this. But if you just like the Joker part, then you probably were the audience that didn't really get the first one, didn't realize there's a person in there you're supposed to care about, only cared about the spectacle, and that's what this movie's criticizing. They say this movie attacks the fans and all that. No, it's criticizing those who only pay attention to the spectacle and ignore the nuance beneath. That's what I think, anyway. So it's very fitting that's what people are doing to the movie, paying attention only to the big spectacle moments and missing the real meat. The Faustian legend, at its core, is about a man who trades his soul for demonic power on Earth. He ensorcels a young woman, an innocent, and she has a child of his. And then the Faust legend goes a couple different ways. There is the good ending where he sacrifices himself for the good of the girl, realizes the error of his ways, and then he dies and she pleads his case and they all go to heaven in the end. I think they all die no matter what because it's one of those old legends, folklore, and that. And then the bad ending where Faust, the original ending, where he does not repent and he instead is given to the devil's service in the end. That's his end of the deal. You sell your soul to the devil, you get power, but you have to do evil works in order to get that power. Now, the child is the most important thing because people think the smiley face guy who kills Joker Arthur at the end of the movie becomes the next Joker, that he's going to be the Ledger Joker. That's just a joke on you, the audience, and maybe a jab at Nolan, because that Joker really was not a true Joker. He had too much of a direct and sane philosophy to be the crazy comics Joker. And this Joker is not really a comics Joker either, but the son that Harley will have, I believe, will become the comics Joker. That's the one that's going to fight the Batman we saw set up in the first movie. And I love that we didn't get a shot of Bruce at the graveside in Joker 2, vowing vengeance and all that. We didn't get a hint or a hair of Thomas Wayne is barely even mentioned. Now, if you were upset the Joker dies at the end, you didn't pay attention to the first movie. We knew age-wise, there's no way Arthur could have been the Joker the Batman faces. He would have to inspire another Joker later on, was our basic thinking, what I thought at the time. I think the familial connection still has meaning because now it's going to be Thomas's grandson instead of his son. This, if my fan theory holds true, they didn't do anything to prove or disprove that old video stands. Anyway, you're gonna have to like watch the movie and watch the Band Wagon from 1953, the Fred Astaire musical. In it, there's a guy named Tony Hunter. He's an actor who's down on his luck. Who his old gang wants him to get back in the spirit and be a big actor on the stage again, just like people want Arthur to become Joker again, and he does. But the director is an out of control nutcase who thinks the play, which should be a production of Faust, he looks at it as a guys and dolls type musical about a guy and a dame and some dancing numbers, and he sees the story of Faust in it. Don't worry, that's not what I'm doing here. I think Todd is. This movie's full of jokes, by the way. It's very funny for the art crowd. There's a lot of high class artistic jokes like this. Anyway, Tony Hunter becomes the actor, becomes the show goes off the rails, like the courtroom drama goes off the rails, and it all goes to hell. But the director sacrifices himself and gives the show to the Joker, the Tony Hunter character, says, okay, my way was wrong, and this is not meant to be a big, like, stage production of Faust. This needs to be a Guys and Dolls type fun musical. You redefine the show. And Tony Hunter sells his personal collection of artwork to finance the redesign of the show, which then becomes a success. Joker sacrifices his character of the Joker, uh, and then the courtroom blows up and he walks away from that life. He doesn't want to be the Joker. It's not a direct parallel. I'm just highlighting enough of the meat and bones so that you can draw the rest of the parallels yourself. I just want this to be a brief little video. My main point was that Joker, as Faust, ensorcels Harley and gives her this baby. He sacrifices his character as Joker and his life, it ends up as Arthur when he goes back into prison after she breaks up with him, which I would argue is a kind of suicide. He gave up on his character. That's why she gave up on him. That's why he goes back in. That's why the smiling kid ends up killing him. And it's foreshadowed in the musical number when Joker, blows his brains out. And so the child that he says, that line, uh, there's so many quotes, so many great quotes from the songs. Like, I looked up every song that's from every musical in this, and that's what you need to do to put all the pieces together. It's an artistic puzzle meant to be delved into. The line, I'll leave a fine young son to take my place, in his final number after he gets stabbed, is from Sammy Davis Jr. and a musical. But that show, the movie version, it was a successful stage play about sort of a nonsense tied together with a theme. But the musical they made it all about Sammy Davis Jr. performing and his jokes and gags, and the movie is a huge flop, which is, I think, another joke Todd Phillips is saying, like, a director can fall flat on his face, a star can fall flat and still go on to have a great career. One flop never defines, And so I don't think he cares at all that this movie is flopping per se. I think a lot of people just don't get it, and they need to do something like this to really understand it. And people aren't willing to do the work to read between the lines anymore, because there's always new content coming down the sledge pipe to just sit back and watch passively. But great art is meant to be delved into like this. So I don't want to rob you of the journey. I just want to give you signposts to start you on it. Anyway, what I think is the Joker is like a transmitted condition. Folie do. I didn't even explain the title. There's so much. God. Folie do means a madness of two, and it's the term for transmitted madness when a person and another person get into a shared delusion together. There's two different kinds. There's one where it's put on a person by someone else, and if you take that person away, it goes away for them. They were just like a follower in a cult. And there's a kind where two people build it together, like Brick to Terabithia, and they build a fantasy world they both share, and that's what this type is for. Joker transmits to Harley, and Harley will transmit it to their child. So the Joker's spirit lives on, the Joker character, even though the body of Arthur does die. I want to discuss the R scene, the rape scene at the end, and how that's not what breaks his spirit. That's not why he gives up. The kid, Ricky, that Joker has been inspiring the whole movie, who kind of follows along, he's his friend, the kid he kisses when people, like, dare him to or whatever, he becomes more and more outstanding and excitable through the movie, until finally the guard murders him at the end, while Joker lies in his cell, unable to do anything about it, and he realizes that this is the abusive evil that he has become, and he sees too much of himself in this brutal killer, uh, killing. It's a very Shawshank Redemption moment where, but instead of Andy Dufresne took the murder of that kid in that movie as inspiration to make his escape plan and put the warden in jail for it, Arthur just says, well, fuck it. I give up. The abuse did not create the Joker. The abuse he suffered in his childhood created Arthur. And Harley is going to raise their baby without such abuse to cage in the Joker spirit, so he will be able to be the full Joker spirit. I think that's, on a metaphorical level, that's basically what we're seeing. There's a lot of moments where, like, Joker says, she gets me, and then he breathes smoke out, and she breathes, when she says, you're Joker, you can do anything, the next thing he does is breathe smoke out, and she breathes it in. So all these things are showing us that she's absorbing more than just his genetic material. She's absorbing the whole character of the Joker to pass on to their child. Gonna Build a Mountain is all about, I'm going to raise this baby to be the true Joker. I love the musical numbers. I watched it 2 times to get it and get my notes, and a third time just the musical parts because I love all the numbers. I think obviously what we have is the good version of the Faust legend where he sacrifices himself and the baby and the child will go on to their version of heaven, which is a murderous Joker in the future to fight Batman. You have to understand the Batman movie is implied in these. The future Batman will occur. We're not going to see it. These are just prequel Joker movies. But all of that is there in the future and will happen. Todd's very careful about what he sets up. There isn't a lot of wasted space or time in this movie. Every moment is informing character, informing the world. Every character has a theme song. The music class defines how the movie operates. We use music to make us whole, to balance conflicting forces, the fractures within us. It tells you that when Joker goes to the music class with Harley, and yet people still didn't understand that's what the musical numbers are going to do in the movie. Like, it's so full of big, great gags like that. The music class teaches you how the musical functions so you can understand the movie, and people are just missing it because they just wanted to see him run around and hit people with the mallet, like the one, there's always a Joker song. The music is their feelings on display. That's how musicals function. But it takes this what would normally musicals just pretend is normal, that songs break out and the people don't know it, and it treats it as if what it was real. They're really perceiving this shared delusion of, like in The Rocketeer, when Timothy Dalton asked Jennifer Connelly to dance. Would you like to dance? There's no music. And he says, really? I hear music. And it's perfect. When you're looking at a person, you feel it, you hear the music. And that's basically what this whole movie is. And people are just not seeing it. The songs are great. I love them. I'm starting to ramble now. Right, I was going to do the individual song that all the characters have. That's Life is Frank Sinatra made famous. And also World on a String, the song the Evil Guard sings, is another Sinatra. So he's like an equal figure to the Joker because their songs are by the same crooner. The same level of fame and power. But That's Life is about the downs and I'll get back up again. World on a String is I'm on top, I've got the world in control. It's about control, really. And then Harley sings that when she is about to go to the courtroom for the last time and she's thinking about the baby. She's got the world on the string. She now has control. The songs tell the story of the movie thematically like that the entire time. It's too much to get. It's already going to be too long. The Saints Go Marching In is like the men's anthem. People play it on the trumpet. People are humming it in the first scene. It's what Ricky's singing when the guard murders him. It's like the spirit of revolution that Joker inspires. And the guard sings it as well, too. So he is a person like all the others, but he is the evil in the world. He's just your common, everyday, cruel abuser. And I don't think the rape really bothered Arthur. I don't think that was such a violation that he's like, oh, I got raped, not going to be Joker anymore. No, it was hearing the guard murder the little guy that had been following him and realizing I did that with my influence. I'm causing people to suffer the same abuse that I've suffered. That's why he didn't want to be the Joker. Why, when they said they're going to burn the whole city down, he got out of the car and fucking ran. Because he's like, I will not revisit this on everyone. Uh, and the later Joker does not have that populism angle. He doesn't inspire. He pays henchmen to do jobs. He doesn't create an army of fucking Jokers. This Revolution Joker was, never going to be the true Joker. But that spirit is there. That's what Harley loved. That's what she absorbed. That's what she'll pass on. So, and I think it was an essential movie for the creation of the Joker, just as the first one was. Part one and part two, they're two as of a whole, really. It's not an unnecessary sequel. It's not a cash grab. It. I loved it. It was beautiful. The Circle Be Unbroken is the first thing we see Harley singing, and it's about the circle of Joker's spirit into his child. Come on, get happy. Chase your cares away. That's Harley from. Oh, what show is that from? Every song everyone sings, you just look up what it's from. Also, the first Joker was a musical. Like, the music was just non-diegetic. All the dancing scenes that he does, expressing feelings through music, all the songs that have place, that happens in this one too. When he's in the radio, when he's just before his escape that I mentioned, the song that's playing is "I don't care what you say. This is my life. Go away with your own life and leave me alone." That song, and he hears it just for a snippet on the radio, and that's how Arthur's feeling when he gets out of the car and runs. Like, they're both musicals in that sense, and you really have to pay attention to get it. Like in the scene, the Joker is Me song, he strikes a prop, like you strike a prop from the stage. He strikes the lawyer with his prop, his stool. He shoots the cameras. Cameras shoot things. He shoots the cameras with a gun. He hits the judge with a gavel. I mean, it's full of gags and jokes like that. Those are the big obvious ones. And that's what people wanted. I think the audience, that's all they wanted was that little 2 minutes of Joker madness and running around in costume. And people have such simple desires. This movie tries to get at something deeper and something truer about how we transmit a madness onto our children, onto our others. Love is a kind of madness. We're all aware of that. We do crazy things for love, in love, because of love, without love. When Joker sees Pepe Le Pew as a cartoon, people are going to think it's referencing the rape angle with the guard. I think he's seeing unrequited love there because Harley has broke up with him and he's sad. You see, and there are so many double meanings in this. Honestly, somebody else needs to do a better deep dive. But I hope I've given you something to think about, and it's at least given you somebody to say all those reviews are just grifters who want clicks and money. This is a genuine artistic product, and there's a lot to get into here with 1953's The Band Wagon and the Faust Legend. Look up those two, and look up every song that somebody sings, and that should give you all you need to really understand the movie. It's like a homework list. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. Uh, Thanks for watching. Go see the movie. It's great if you like the first. If not, it might well not be for you. It's not a wide appeal kind of movie. And we have a different populism spirit going on. It's there in the background, but it's not the headline this time.